Hi, this is a video about why you push people away and how to stop it. And I'm going to look at this through a lens of attachment and the nervous system. So from a very early age, with our primary caregivers, our nervous systems are there to keep us alive. That's it, period. And dependent on the consistency of our experiences in relationship and what we have growing up will determine basically how our nervous systems respond to perceived threat. And in my experience, personally and professionally, this comes out in relationships. And this is what I want to speak to you a little bit about today. So I've created 3 videos in this series just to break it down a little bit. So like these videos are not too long. It's probably something that most people struggle with, and that's intimacy. I'm not talking about sex. I'm just talking about intimacy, which is connection, which is being vulnerable in front of others. So our nervous systems learn from a very early age that closeness equals risk. If the level of care, so like in my experience, the level of care that I got was inconsistent at best. There's nobody's fault here. It's just having one parent that had quite severe mental health issues and was sectioned a lot, and another parent that was at work a lot. So therefore, my nervous system learned from a very early age that relationships were risky. It wasn't safe. So therefore, I adapted by being fiercely independent, which served me in many areas of my life. Unfortunately, one of the areas of my life it didn't serve me is in relationship. Find it very hard to have relationships, or found it very hard to have relationships in the past. And this video, really, I'm just hoping that you get some kind of understanding of your nervous system and how it reacts to you when you are in relationship. Whether that's through trauma or sexual abuse, or whether it's through inconsistent parenting, or whether it's through, being bullied at school, or other kind of experiences that you may well have had. So I want to uncover how your nervous system, not your mind, has been running the show. I'm going to put some questions in the comments afterwards for you to be able to reflect on, for you to be able to journal on. So let me just give you a very brief kind of rundown of kind of how your nervous system will react to your attachment style, and what the attachment styles are if you don't know. So attachment isn't about romance, it's about surviving, as I said, from a very early age. So when you're young, our bodies learn how safe it is to connect. And that becomes our attachment style. So basically there are 4 attachment styles. There's a secure attachment, which is where you would have had consistent care. It would have been attuned. Your nervous system will be balanced. It will be open. It can repair after rupture. The repair after rupture is a very important part of human development. And the adult pattern is like you can express your needs and wants. You can stay connected in conflict. Then we have an attachment, anxious attachment. So that would have been unpredictable care, maybe an overly anxious parent, a lot of fear, sometimes love, sometimes withdrawal, very confusing. So your nervous system would have been on alert a lot of the time. It's scanning for rejection. It's scanning for abandonment. It's kind of reading facial expressions and body language. And then the adult pattern would be you over communicate, you people please, you seek reassurance. One of the messages is that you have to make sure that the other person is okay for you to be okay, which is a definition of people pleasing, isn't it? You sacrifice yourself to the detriment of others. And then we've got avoidant, which is emotional needs dismissed or shamed. So it wouldn't have been okay to have those big emotions as a child because your primary caregiver didn't have the capacity to be able to soothe and manage those. Nervous system pattern would be closeness is danger. As soon as somebody gets close to you, it's too much for your nervous system. So you become overwhelmed, overstimulated, and then you want to move away. So the adult pattern is you become very independent, withdrawn, probably lack an emotional kind of awareness, disconnected, want to control a lot of the environment. And then we have disorganized, which is a combination of the two. You know, in my experience of many years working with children in care, this is where they're at. It's like love and fear are mixed up in trauma. Find it very hard to differentiate between what a healthy relationship is and trauma. Nervous system is confused. It wants closeness, but panics when it's there. And it literally is a panic. And the adult pattern will be pull, push. I want you, no, I don't. I want you, no, I don't. Move towards and then it's too much. Quite a lot. It's quite volatile. There's a lot of mistrust there. But the narrative is that I don't trust other people, but actually it's that they don't trust themselves. Because in their experience, it was either violent or there was a lot of abuse. So it's hard to distinguish between what is healthy and what is not. So then we create these narratives around, I don't need others. I can't trust others. I'll do it on my own. I'm fine on my own. I don't need anyone. That's not power though. That's protection. Power is the ability to feel deeply whilst being vulnerable, without being consumed, without being overwhelmed. Protection is the avoidance of it all. Protection becomes isolation. Fierce independence looks powerful, but it isolates you. Emotional control looks calm, but it disconnects you. Overgiving looks generous, but it absolutely erases you. It's to the detriment of yourself. Your nervous system is trying to protect you from the pain, but all it's protecting you from is connection. We are social animals. We are supposed to be in connection with others, in small packs. Back in the day, we would have lived and thrived in very small communities where we felt safe. So there's a quick somatic practice that I want you to do. I want you to sit comfortably in a chair, place both feet on the floor so you can feel the floor underneath your feet and push yourself back into the chair. If you feel safe enough, just close your eyes. And then I want you to breathe in for 4 and out for 6. And just repeat that for a few moments. And I want you to bring somebody up in your mind's eye who matters to you, whether it's a partner, a child, a friend. Now I want you to be as honest as you can. I want you to imagine yourself being as vulnerable as you can. Without your armor, show up with all your insecurities. And then just notice in your body where you experience that. Where do you experience that in your body? Where are you tense? Where are you holding on to something? Just notice it. Don't try and change it. Just notice it. That's your nervous system. That's the doorway. That's the part of you that says connection isn't safe. Just notice it. Keep breathing and remind your system that I'm safe right now and I can hold this. This is how you begin to retrain your nervous system for intimacy. One breath, one truth, one moment of staying present with this. So I will put these questions in the comments. I want you to really take your time with them and notice about your pattern. What did your body learn about love growing up? When someone gets close, what's your default? Do you move towards them? Do you move away? Or do you numb out, shut down? What's one way your protection has cost your connection? So for me, it's in relationship. It's impacted every relationship I've ever had. Stops me getting close, or stopped me getting close, past tense. What truth about intimacy are you ready to face? Who would you become if you trusted it was safe to be seen? What a question that is. Just really reflect on that. Kind of hypothesize, imagine who you would become if you was a little bit more open. If you was a little bit more open to being seen, heard, understood. I really want to encourage your vulnerability around these. What risk is my body predicting right now? What happens to me when love feels close? As I say, I'm going to pop these questions down in the comments. I've also created just like a 2-minute quiz. I will put the link in the comments. It will literally take you 2 minutes, and it's like a self-assessment on your nervous system. Just click on the link, do the quiz. It will take you 2 minutes. And then once you've done the quiz, I will send you a free resource for you to be able to start to get some regulation and safety in your nervous system. Let me know in the comments any questions that you've got. Take care.